Hello, sports world, and hello, sports lovers. You are now tuning in to the Real McCoy Sports Podcast on your DPN Dream Podcast Network. And I'm your host, always and forever will be, doing the most, Franklin J. McCoy III. But you can call me Frankie. And today we're talking about the Warriors game that happened last night, November 14th, Tuesday, November 14th, at the Chase Center, San Francisco, 3rd Street, versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, whoa! Now, I started watching the game towards the end of the first quarter. That's when I turned it on, and I was like, wait a minute. Where's everybody at? The first thing I was like, where's Steph at? Then I seen him in street clothes. Then I'm like, where's everybody at? And then I saw the replay. They were kind of chitter-chattering. And then I saw what went down. I was like, oh, Nelly. Whoa. That was some stuff. First of all, that number 3 for Minnesota. So what happened was Klay Thompson, after a shot, Klay tried to box out, but then he kind of put his hand out and kind of try to shield off the defender, McDaniel. But he kind of grabbed him right here a little bit, but he was trying to push him to position himself so he can turn around and box out. But he was kind of grabbing, and then they were kind of running down the court. And then they both started doing the tug of war. McDaniels ripped Klay's jersey. Then Klay grabbed him. They were tussling. They were doing the ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes. Nobody fell down. So they were doing the tug of war. And then Rudy Gobert's old soft, sweet French ass just comes over there. He tries to separate, but he kind of grabbed Klay really quick and then lowered it. But by then, it was too late. So he tried to grab him around the neck, but then he kind of lowered it. He was trying to separate, but he was trying to separate Klay. So the first mistake, separate your own team. Touch your own guys. Don't touch any of our Warriors, especially you. You overpaid nothing. I wouldn't even pay you $8 million a year to play basketball. But they're paying you I think it's $40 million to do what? Nobody's scared of you. When they drive the basketball, they don't look like, oh, shit, that's Rudy Gobert. Don't shoot over there. It's the opposite effect. Attack him. He ain't gonna do nothing. Sure, he might get a block here or there. Look, he's like 7'10". You should get a block here or there. He doesn't score. Yeah, he grabs rebounds, but so does everybody and their mamas and their mamas' mamas and their mamas and their mamas' mamas. They all grab rebounds. Even Steph Curry grabs rebounds. So, when the melee happened, the first thing I can think of was the movie Revenge of the Nerds. You remember the famous line. If everybody's seen that Revenge of the Nerds, I've seen all of them. I love that movie. So, but he showed the plant and he said, "We got Bush." He said, "We got Bush." Whoa, that was one of the classic lines in movie history. He said, "We got Bush." So what I mean by that, to translate that to the Warrior game, Draymond Green saw Rudy Gobert, and let me put some context in it. When Draymond Green gave Jordan Poole that act right before the season last year, that act right, that Sierra, that I love it when you 1-2 step, that 1-2 bop bop bop. It was really a one hitter quitter, but we're trying to put some respect on that weirdo's name, Jordan Poole. He's a weirdo. He went over to Washington. His goddamn his goatee or whatever you want to call that shenanigan on his face. He's starting to grow side beards, starting to look weird. His hair starting to look unkept. He's making millions of dollars and looks like he jumps out of bed and comes to the games, doesn't comb his hair, doesn't brush his hair. He's looking like a hippie right now. He's looking like he's on drugs. That's what he really does. He's playing like he's loaded. He's playing like he's off that heroin, that H. And then, yeah, but that's not about Jordan Poole. I'm just saying. So when that happened, when Draymond knocked the shit out of Jordan Poole and sent him sleeping, Rudy Gobert went on the internet or went on social media and was like, what did he said something to the effect of insecure people speak loudly with their actions or something like that. He just said people speak loudly with their actions or something. And he started to butt in and shit. So, and then Draymond responded back, and then, yeah, it was a little thing. So, Draymond he was dreaming for this moment. He was dreaming for that moment. And then in his head, when he saw Rudy Gobert wrap his arm around Clay, that light bulb went off on Draymond Green's head, and he was like, Eureka! We got Bush! And he was like, I got action! He got action to show out. He just needed an excuse, and Rudy Gobert gave him a perfect excuse to run over there and choke excuse my English and not French, because I'm not French. Choked the shit out of him. He choked the life out of him. Rudy Gobert was all at the mercy of Green, Draymond. He was like, oh. He was getting dragged across the court. Draymond was dragging him. Oh, I love Draymond. Oh, I love Draymond. If there was ever a player, oh my God. I have a daughter. I will raise her. I will train her to play like Draymond Green. Oh my God. Because you know why? You know why I act like that? It's because they condemn him. Everybody in the whole NBA, everybody that's not a part of the Warriors, they hate him. They hate him so much. They hate that he has his podcast. They hate that he's on TNT with Barkley and Shaq and Kenny and Ernie. They hate that everybody loves him. They hate that he wins championships. They hate that he plays with passion. And that's what I see is missing, not only in the NBA, but professional sports, period. That passion. That I will do anything to win. And Draymond's smart enough. See, all this stuff that Draymond does and stuff, I've been doing that. I've been on that. It's just that, who am I? I'm nobody. Who am I? You're not professional. So somebody that plays like that, I've been doing that times two. So whatever you think Draymond does, I've been there. I know the science. I studied. I grew up loving Dennis Rodman, Gary Payton on defense. Offense, it was Chris Mullin and Reggie Miller. A little bit of Penny Hardaway. And a little bit of Timmy Hardaway because he was popping when I was growing up. But I was like a big Chris Mullin fan because I love to shoot threes. And then I love to play D and get under people's skin. And that's why Dennis Rodman is one of my favorite players of all time. And then Gary Payton is one of the best up-court defenders. Like you're dribbling up court, he'll snatch and pick your pocket. He was one of the best at up the court on ball defense, I feel. So Draymond is in a class he's in a class all by himself, and the sad part about it is that society, sports people nowadays, they don't appreciate that. Nobody appreciates it till it's gone. So quick story. I'm doing Uber because I chase money in all angles. So I'm doing Uber. I pick up a group of people from a hotel down by Market Street. It was a Four Seasons, whatever. It's a good hotel. The one you have to make the left and go down that dead end, and then it's the hotel. So I picked them up. It's about 5 of them. Tall brother. I don't know how tall he was. He's definitely taller than me. I'm 6'2", so he's definitely taller than me. That's what stood out. He sat in the front. Couple guys in the back. They're talking, and then all of a sudden it got into Draymond discussion. And this was before it might have been before the punch, before the season started. But they were like, they were saying, I don't know, I'm not sure if it was, but they were saying, they were like, oh, and then they just asked me, because they were talking basketball the whole time, but I was like, I didn't know who they were. And then I don't like to jump in conversations because I'm the type where I talk like this in front of whoever. It doesn't matter who, could be your brother, your cousin, and they might not like what I have to say. I don't disrespect anybody, but I'm just too honest. I don't like the way he plays. That might be somebody they know. And it turned out that way. So I was talking. So the first thing, they start talking about Draymond. No, they start talking about Rudy Gobert. And then they asked me. Then they were like, hey, what do you think about Rudy Gobert and blah, 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 and about, and then I was like, he's trash. I said, I don't like him. The first thing I said was, I don't like him. I think he's trash. And I told him just like that, I think he's trash. I think he's overrated. I wouldn't pay him that money. What does he do well? He doesn't do well. He doesn't play defense well, but they say he's best defender, but he's not better than Draymond. He's not better than GP2 on defense. He might not be better than that dude from Memphis that blocks shots a lot, the dark-skinned big one, Clark, or whatever his name is. I don't know what he does well. And then they were like, okay. And then it could have been after the Draymond thing. So let me just say the Draymond thing. So we talked about Draymond. They were like, do you think he deserves the contract? This was before they paid him. I was like, of course. I was like, he's one of the best players in the NBA. He got them how many 4 championships. He's the passion. He's the heart and soul. He's the backbone of the Warriors. And then they were like, okay, you make a good point. But what about all the trouble? And I said, well, what about it? I said, who cares? I said, we owe it to Draymond to pay him. The loyalty. Where's the loyalty? I said that. Where's the loyalty? He does everything for this team. He puts his heart and passion. And then I said, well, who are you going to get to replace him that can fulfill the void that he'll leave? Who plays with that passion? And if they don't play with that passion, who's productive enough to even out what he brings to the table? Who is so productive that they can even out what the Warriors are going to lose if they get rid of him? The only players I thought is Kawhi. Kawhi, LeBron, KD, Giannis, all the big guys. Those are the only people. Other than that, no. Hell no. So they were like, yeah. And then I think the Rudy Gobert thing, because right after we talked about Draymond, then all of them in the car, they were like, yeah, we just want to let you know we're a part of the Utah Jazz broadcasting team. And I said, oh, okay. They were the announcers, I guess, for the Utah. They were the commentators for the Utah Jazz because the Warriors were playing them the next day or something. They were in town because the Warriors were playing the Utah Jazz. I also told them, I said, yeah, your Jazz team, you guys are okay, but I don't think you guys are going to make the playoffs or something. I don't know if they did, but they didn't do too well. But everything I told them in the car came true. So about 2 months, 3 months, or however long it was, soon after that car ride, I don't know if I was the reason, but Rudy Gobert got traded. Minnesota Timberwolves. Utah Jazz made a couple more moves, and then they didn't do well. So everything I said was reality. They didn't do well. Rudy Gobert stinks. He's overrated, and you guys aren't going anywhere. And then everything came true. So, after all that history lesson, now you know, so Rudy Gobert was talking shit on social media, trying to make Draymond look bad. So Draymond, he didn't forget that. So he went over there, choked the shit out of him. They all got ejected. So the number 3, McDaniel, Clay got ejected, Draymond got ejected, and then they're all over there. He needs to be suspended 10 games. 10 games? God damn, what did he do? Okay, he choked him out bad, okay. But 10 games? Damn. This is soft league. It's soft shit right here. You see how they just come out? I think it's 10 games. Why? Okay, if I was doing it too, okay, yeah, you choked him. You shouldn't have did that one game. Then you drug him back across the court. Yeah, that's another game, Dre. I got to give you another one for that. You made him look bad. He was looking. You look like Debo on the first Friday. You were just dragging him. You want some too? No. So yeah, that happened. And then the game. Let's talk about the game. Couple questionable calls by the referees, of course. They always love to cheat. But I must say, I was 100% all around proud and satisfied of that game. I wouldn't say 100%, 95. With the exception of Chris Paul at the end. God damn. So everybody played really good. Even Chris Paul, everybody played really good. We almost won the game. We had the lead. Saric was dribbling behind the back, shaking up the cat, but they let the cat shoot 1,000,003. He was just getting open shots too much. And they weren't moving their feet on the drive. So Minnesota's pretty good. I like Minnesota, but the game was really good on both sides. Both teams played well. I can see why Minnesota has the record they have. They're a good team. I like my man Mike Conley. He's been my guy for a long time. I'm a fan of his. The Ant-Man is really good. The Cat has stepped up his game a lot over the years. So it was a good game. All around good game. Until the end of the game. Chris Paul hit a 3 towards the end to tie it, which was really good. But towards the end, the very end, he drove by his man. He had a layup and then passed it up and then dribbled to the other block of the key and tried to throw a backwards pass, got stolen. Then another time, he passed up another floater or something and tried to do something else, and they got the ball. I was like, what the hell? You're wide open. Why you keep passing up game-winning shots? And then it clicked to me. This is why he doesn't, excuse my English and not French, because I'm not French. This is why he doesn't fucking win. This is why his teams don't win. He's starting to look like LeBron at the end of the game. Scared to shoot. Shook ones. Mobb Deep. They're part of the Mobb Deep fan club. Scared to shoot, scared to look, and scared to shoot. Halfway crooks. Shook ones. Chris Paul got shook at the end of the game. Didn't want to shoot the layup on the drive. Passed up another floating shot. So he passed up 2 shots and turnover, and I forgot what happened on the other one. But 2 times he could have scored, could have shot. Even if he would have shot and missed, it would have been better than just turning it over the way he did. But he was scared to take those shots, and I think that was the direct reason of why we lost the game. Other than that, he played really well. But that end of the game, Chris Paul, it was on him. Why did you pass up that layup on the left side? He drove to the left, had the layup, he beat the man. Then he passed it up. So that was that game. Warriors look good. The bench looks good. The young guys look good. Minnesota looked well. They played well. That was an entertaining game, low-scoring game, but very entertaining. So that was the Warriors melee at Chase. Thank you, Draymond, for having Clay's back, and that's why I love you, Draymond. I will forever be a fan of yours. Your jersey needs to be retired. Warriors, they need stop playing. Number 23, nobody should wear that jersey ever. You heard it here on the Real McCoy Sports Podcast on your DPN Dream Podcast Network.